Hello everyone, and broadcasting again. Here I am, back again. Can't get rid of me that easy. Okay, so today I am going through and we're doing some testing. We're getting really close on getting the whole process working for the install, and I'm going to show you where we're at. I'm warning you in advance that some of the scenes that we're loading in are not ready, so they were created a long time ago, and I've gotten a lot better at what I create, and also I've changed so much of the code behind it that it just may take a little bit of pushing and shoving and get those some new demos in place so that you can have different things to choose from when you load up. But in the meantime, we're definitely getting started here, and I think I got a lot of the process up and going, so let's give it a shot. First thing I'm doing is deleting all my tables, and I've already done that. So the next thing is we're going to start by going here, refreshing the page, and seeing where we're at. Okay, so admin, okay, password, and no, I'm not going to say it out loud, and even if you read my lips, you might not be able to figure it out. Okay, admin email, we're going to go with that one, and we'll just call this 3D test site. Close enough, and we're going to say go, and let's see how it does. Okay, we're on this page. I'm going to, just to do it, I'm going to say island just so that, yep, we got results back. That's all good. I'm going to pick I'm going to stick with this one right now because I know there's some things I have to do to the templates. It'd probably be good if I also show the side column just in case it does pop some errors. We'll be able to detect those, and that's where we're at right now. So, oh well, this is really good. It helps if I click on code page so you can actually see it installing. It's a Tuesday afternoon that feels like a Monday morning, so forgive me for not showing you the page I'm working with too soon enough, but it's doing the install, which we've done a few times already, so we'll just keep on plugging away here and see where we end up. And it's uploading the files. One of the things I found out is that when I uploaded the files, I changed the ID of the file, but I didn't update the foreign keys for the ID that were in the actual uploads table. So like if you had an original size and then a thumbnail and then a full web size for the screen, well, what was happening is that they were using the old codes still in the tables, which means it wasn't finding any of the images. So when I corrected that piece, next thing you know, everything popped into place, and I started seeing complete scenes when it gets there. So the first thing it does, creates the tables, then you select your community, it builds your first scene, then you select your first building, then it builds the building, and in the final steps here, we're gonna see, then next you're gonna pick your avatar, because of course you're gonna be in the scene, so it's time you pick your avatar. And we're gonna do a few things with it just because I'm gonna be checking and seeing how far it got and if it finished everything it was supposed to. Right now it's finishing writing the images that come with the building. And it's still finishing. This part takes an extra second. Okay, I've still got a couple things I think I need to adjust on that one. Yeah, but as for everything else, it's loading up. Let's see, is it going to find my other avatars, which should be the case here. I need to preload the avatars. I think I need to load them in the background so that the images have already been loaded, so that by the time you load the files, they're basically just showing them instead of that. Because when you're doing all this other stuff, we could get a step ahead of it. It's one thing if you're adding in just one avatar at a time, but when I'm trying to throw 10 of them on the screen, as you can see, that took an extra second to get them all in place. Okay, so, and just for consistency, I'm going to pick the same one I've been picking. And there he is. Okay, we're going to set a couple colors because I just want to see if that part's working. And there it is. We've got one thing already right there. I had a feeling because there was some code I changed, I found some more stuff I didn't rename. So when I did, I had a feeling that there was going to be a little piece there that needed to be bridge the gap, but we'll work on that. Okay, avatar display name, we can do. Okay, and I think that one's going to update, no problem. Yes, we're good on that. Okay, and then when I close the avatar, and this is what I really wanted to see. Of course, the starting position's off. I expected that because when I first started doing these, now notice that loaded pretty quick. If I start walking, he'll come up out of the ground. Get out of the ground. Okay, my positions for the starting positions are all out of whack only because when I originally created them, I was using a camera view and not an avatar, so that was before I loaded the avatars. But right now we actually have a castle here loaded, and as you can see, yeah, it came in all the way. We have an island around it. Nothing much to speak of. It's a basic test island, so you get a little bit of sand or whatever, and then you get some rocks, and then we get the water. So just to show you that it did load the place. Now, this isn't attesting to the quality of the land. I've already made better ones than this one. This one was one of my first attempts way back. So, as you can see, I even have some ground going over the cement here and things. So, yeah, it's not too much the best or anything. But watch this. When I walk inside, watch inside the door and see how all of a sudden the ramp shows up as you go in. Well, let me repeat that. Let's back up, and as I go outside the door, it disappears. That's hitting one of those load zones, so it doesn't even load this part until you're actually heading in the door. So, and then we can come up here, and we can walk around. And there's just some cutouts of those over there. I'm going to, just for the heck of it, I'm going to run out here. There's a window. Seeing outside and going farther and fall just to do it, and I can come back out this door. So we basically have a simple castle structure. Yeah, just something we created and using the building blocks tools and stuff within the app. Okay, so we already had one thing where it couldn't do the avatar, so we're going to see if we can't fix a couple things now. But you get the basic idea. We're actually walking around in a scene. So we've made it through the process that actually creates the scene and everything. So now it's a matter of getting the other pieces here in place. I already know what this is. I did some renaming of the different items, and the basic idea is that I need to, oops, that would help. Let's get in the app instead of, there we go. Find, and here we go. So, let's see. Okay, so we have the avatar part piece, and it said it couldn't set the class name because this piece right here, it couldn't find it. Oh, and I can tell you already what the problem is. That should be an underscore, not a hyphen. I probably am going to run into a couple of those along the way since I just finished renaming some of the other things. I went back through and found a handful of them that I didn't do, so I went back and did them this morning. So now there's a few things. Classes are with a hyphen. The item names are with an underscore, just so you get the idea between the two. So with that piece fixed, I should be able to refresh this screen. I'll start in the ground again, of course. And I'm going to run myself out of the ground here. And come on, finish my animations. There they are. And okay, here we go. And I'm going to come outside just because I want to have the castle as a background while I do this. Okay, I'm going to go to here and then edit my avatar. And let's see if we fix those color things. Okay, so let's go with top. There it is. It highlighted the top, so that part works so far. And of course, we didn't get this far a few minutes ago, so I think I'm already in better shape than I was. Let's go ahead and give it some darker colored pants, a little green tint to them. And shoes, let's go with some brown shoes. I'll give it kind of a brown color here. There we go. And let's see, hats. Okay, we're going to kind of go around what the pants are. And let's see, body. I learned this little trick. If you go off-centered from the default color a little bit and give it just a little hint of color, it actually takes on a little cool shading effect. Okay, so we have those. Did it save my display name, avatar display name? Yep, it remembered that it was Aaron, so we're good on that. Next thing we can test out, let's see, first of all, the walk. Now, just so you know, I didn't set the defaults yet, so it says Beast Walk, but it actually starts up with default male or default female, depending on which avatar you pick. So I'll get to those where it actually switches them. Let's play around with a couple of these just to do it. Oh, this one's kind of funny. Catwalk. So when it reloads itself and we get the animations going, if I start to walk forward, I'll let it finish the animations. Oh, helps it. Your cursor has to be on the screen for it to walk. So this is the catwalk. Kind of funny. Crack myself up. Now, another thing I want to point out, if you haven't noticed already, watch when I walk, watch his eyes. They go big, bright, big open, and everything else. There's a weight a weight listing thing that happens on all the points that make up the avatar. And in this particular case, one of the settings is the one of the settings about that is the ability to you set the weight scales based on which bone movement near the outside skin is going to move that particular object. And if you get them set one way or another, if they're not in balance of the things around them. For example, the head, let's say that goes, when I go to move, let's say that's at 80% because there's other bones like the shoulders that are moving part of the neck, or the neck is moving part of the head, whatever it is. But what happens is, if the eyes are, let's say, 100% where the head's moving, like it is in this case, and then the head itself around the eyes is moving at, let's say, 70%, then you get some weird effects where the eyes tend to bug out as you're walking or something. But it seems like it's only happening on certain ones. I think it's because certain movements have the head moving a little bit or not. If the head doesn't move at all, then the eyes and the head all stay in sync. Because like right now, I'm doing dizzy walk and the eyes didn't move. So I think it just matters on if that particular piece is being moved with the animation or not. I'll play around with the animations at a later time, but for now, just know that's pretty much going to be what takes on its effect. So we'll pick which walk we want. I know it's cool to be able to play around with the actual program. See, we got a swagger walk or strut walk. He's strutting now. Okay, and let's see what else we have. Let's go happy walk. So when he first loads, he goes through and loads each one of these animations that you choose. So depending on the size of the animations, speed of your machine, and all this other little factors, they'll all play a role in how long it takes for them to load. So another day we're going to work on the avatars, because I also noticed, just like you probably did, that the shirt tears open and the skin from underneath the shirt collar pops through the actual shirt. That has to do with the textures also. That has to do with making sure that they're all running in one in the right weight classes of each one. So we'll get to that kind of stuff later on, and we'll work on fixing them. For now, we'll leave it on happy walk just to do it. Let's go to optional gestures. Let's see if this piece is working. See, if I click here, notice select animations. If you click that, it's going to open the screen. So it's kind of, you know, dual purpose here. Optional gestures right here, add animation. See, I can pop that up. Oh, also, I just changed my camera view, so let's go to view camera. Let's go to self camera. So I'm looking back at myself again. And now let's go to edit my avatar. Okay, and I'm back where I started. And add animation. Select animation. And I'm going to do a waving gesture, just so he has one. Okay, and it added it to here, so that means I didn't screw up any naming with that part. Now I'm going to pick one for, I always like the over here. Hey, if I see another person in here, then I can go over here and pull them over towards me. And there's over here. Now, just to do it, we're going to add the victory dance, because, you know, hey, you never know when victory is called for. And we're going to add the animation, and we're going to pick one more. Let's go down to one near the bottom. I put a bunch of dances. Some of them work well, some of them need the animations looked at, but we'll get to that kind of stuff. So basically throwing it in here, and there it is. So now when I hold down one of these buttons, hey, there we are. Woo, 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 woo. The London style. Okay, and so far this part has been a victory. So there's the victory roll. Yeah. Woo, woo, woo. Okay. Hey. Well, that's a little wave. Yeah. That's kind of a weird wave. Okay, let's go with, instead of waving gesture, let's go with simple wave. Let's swap that one out. And there it is, simple wave. So now it goes, hello. He stands very straight. There it is. Hi. Okay. Yeah, so did you see the Gunman style? Here it goes. Ready. I know I'm doing the old Six Flags sound. Look at him go. Look at him go. Look at him go. Look at him go. Okay, yeah. That's victory. I know, especially playing around with the scene. Okay, so that shows that we do have some things going on. We were able to build a building behind us. We're able to create a little bit of a scene. We're able to run back and forth. We can walk and move. We got the happy dance when you walk forward. Back is kind of droll. Let's change it back. Let's have some more fun with this. Walk backwards, and there's a couple different types of walk backwards. You can even look back as you walk back. So let's see how this one does. Let's see. And he kind of looks behind himself and backs up. That's kind of cool. Instead of just blindly walking backwards. Just to see us do it, let's try. I know there's a limp backwards. Okay, we got to try the moonwalk. Okay, so first of all, we'll do let's let it load up. Give it a second to catch up. And we'll do our happy dance forward. And here we go. Moonwalking backwards. Okay, so that's the moonwalking backwards. It's probably more impressive if you see it from the side, but hey, it's doing it. Okay, okay, we'll have some fun with happy and sad. Okay, so when he walks forward, he's happy forward, and then I don't want to walk backwards. And we get the sad walking backwards. So, playing around with the animation today. And let's see, what else do we have? Let's see, we've got some strifing. Let's see. It looks like I only have the one default strifing. Okay, so we're going to keep the strifing the way it is. That's kind of a casual mosey on sideways. Okay, kind of, you know, he's even bored with it. His eyes gloss over. So, let's see. Yeah, it was interesting when I programmed those because I actually had to design it that if he ran into a curb going sideways, it looked for the curb and actually took a step up when it got to it. So I had to do a little bit of fun kind of turning things to make those things work right. Mostly right now I have the walk backwards and forwards and a couple things in place. Most of them have a default one just to give it something, and then everything else is under optional gestures for now. But let's see what else we can find in optional gestures. Okay. Select animation. Let's see. What do we have? Oh, counting gesture. Let's see what this one does. For all you parents out there with kids, we have the counting gesture. Are you ready? Oh, I even created an icon for this one already. Are you ready? Here it is. Counting gesture. I've had enough. Oh, wait a minute. That's not the counting gesture. Did it load? No, I'm doing the victory dance. Okay. Oh, wait, there it is. No? Hey, it did the icon twice. Something didn't load right. Okay, let's reload. Can't give it everything. Jeez. I knew. Come on, it's buggy. Of course it's buggy. We just built it. Now, let me give it a fresh start and see where we are. I loaded one too many animations. I pushed my luck. That was it. Now, oh, let's get out of the ground. Okay. I'm running. Get me out of here. Let me out of here. And heading for the door. And I know the scene so well, I was able to run backwards and get out of there. Okay, so from here, let's check this out. Let's see. Do we have the counting gesture? Counting gesture and... Oh, I have counting gesture twice, it says, and victory gesture and Gangnam style there. Okay, something didn't load right, but we're going to find out which one. So that's victory, which isn't with the right icon. This one is... Oh, that's victory. Okay, so we got something going on. Gangnam style comes up under victory gesture. She is? Oh, yeah. A little bit of animation today. Okay, so let's see if we can't fix some of this stuff. Let's see. I don't know why it should load as many animations as I pick, but right now it seems to be playing around a little bit. So I'm going to remove victory gesture. Oh, we have counting gesture twice. That would cause some weird results, as you've seen. So let's see if we can't cut it down to just these four. I'm going to reload the page just because I want to see if they are all loaded correct when I do. Yeah, somehow it loaded one twice. We'll figure that out. I'll check through that later on. But right now we're playing, so okay. And let me see if I can get him out the door instead of being inside. Grow up out of the ground. Okay, and wait. Oops, don't run into the wall. Come on, load the animations. There it is. Now the animations are there. Okay, and I'm running. Okay, let's start with, let's see if something works now. Okay, so we have, okay, 4 animations. So his counting, here we go. For all you parents out there, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm at my wit's end. Counting. And then and then we have, oh, I'm over here. And finally, hello, I'm over here. Okay, so then those are just some of the animations. Let's play around with a few more here. So when I edit my avatar, I can actually come in here. Oh wait, those are the colors. Helps if I read before I click. Avatar animations, loads them up, and for each one of those we can pick anything we want. So right now we have the happy walk, which looks like this. And so now I'm gonna go sad walk backwards. Yeah, sad walk backwards, sad walk backwards. Bodum, bodum, bodum. It's kind of like Eeyore. Okay, now I'm going to choose a different one. Let's go with the beast walk. Let's show what the beast walk actually looks like. So this is for those big guys out there. We've got a beast walk. And here we go. Takes some big steps too. He moves pretty good. Okay. So let's back it up. Let's try a different one. Some of these are funny, especially with a guy doing a girl type walk or vice versa. But let's see what we have. Oh, the catwalk's pretty funny. So if we hit the catwalk, first of all, when it blinks, what it's actually doing is reloading the avatar with the animations loaded. Later on, I'll work at hot swapping out the animations, but there's a sequence, and it actually, each animation can be a different number of frames for the length of the animation. And what happens is if you take one out, that leaves a gap, and they've got to be end to end when they're loaded. So at some point I have to load at least the animations, if not the avatar. When I tried to move just the animations, I was getting a little bit of garbage where sometimes they'd do it, sometimes they wouldn't. So I actually had better luck dropping out the whole avatar and just recreating them with all the animations in place. But with that said, I still think I can fix that and beat that and make that work at some point here. So at one time, there'll be a chance where you won't have to lose the avatar and make him blink to do it. But here's the catwalk. It's kind of funny. Looks like he could walk on a balance beam when he's doing that. And the sad walk backwards. Okay, and just to do it, let's do a couple more. Dizzy walk. Now, it may be called other things. I call it dizzy walk because it's more politically correct if a kid chooses a dizzy walk than if they choose a drunk walk. So it's the dizzy walk. That's how I named that one. Okay, and look, we can back it up here. Okay, and from there we have, let's see, what else do we have? Well, there's a fast pace, happy walk, lady walk, leisure walk. Let's see what leisure walk is. I haven't tried that one in a while. And so he reloads. I gave it a couple extra seconds for all the animations to load. And here we go. Just kind of strolling. Okay, I get what that one is. It's pretty good sized steps. That's not bad. He's moving pretty good with that. There's a limp walk, so let's see him limp. Poor guy, got hurt. Got hurt tripping over this scene. Oh, drag that foot, drag that foot, drag that foot. There we go. Kind of goes with the eyes that get pigged in the back of the head, huh? And then we have a sad walk. Oh, let's do a sneaky walk. Okay. First thing, let it reload. Only takes a second. Let's go backwards here. Doop-a-doop-a-doo. Okay, and let's see what our sneaky walk looks like. Sneaking him. Oh, that's kind of interesting. He's sneaking, but he's looking up. Okay, maybe we'll have to play around with those animations a little bit later on. We can fine-tune them. This is just a good starting point. Okay, and I wanted a lot of animations, so we have a lot to choose from, and so that's what I did to start off with. We have the strut walk, and okay, let's do the stagger or the swagger walk. So here we go, the Justin Timberlake. Okay, we're just gonna like, yeah. It's got swagger now. Yeah. Okay, that works, that works, that works. Oh, let's see, since we got the swagger walk going, let's see, what can we do backwards? How about, oh, there's a limp. I kind of like, well, there's a moonwalk. There's a looking back. Let's go to moonwalk, just so we can see it happen. Tribute to Michael Jackson. We got the moonwalk, and here it goes. I'm bad, I'm bad, do 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 do. I'm bad, I'm bad. Oh, that's why I come to you. I'm bad. No. Okay, and we can do the. I kind of like the looking back actually, because how many people walk backwards without paying attention? See, now we actually look back behind us and go, hey, what am I going to run into? And bam, you run into the wall. No. Okay, so I picked out some of my favorite steps and ways I'm going to walk and use it and everything. There'll be a lot more in here as we go. I'll keep fine-tuning and adding some more in here. Notice optional gestures. That's where you're going to find the most choices. Okay, let's do some big house dancing. Let's change that out and see how that does. So let's see this one. Okay, big house dancing. Let's see if it works. Okay, here we go. Not much of a dancer. Well, wait a minute. Did a couple defying gravity moves there. Hey, I'd say he's a good dancer. No, that's kind of funny. Okay, so big house dancing. Let's see what other ones we have here. Simple hip hop. Like there's any kind of hip hop that's simple. And let's see, we have, there it is. So it's loaded and whoa, that move was pretty interesting. See, the guy is actually centered on what his hip does. So what's happening is when the hip moves, it actually moves the whole guy forward and backwards. I may have to play around with that and make sure the hip gets its own movement and place a bone in their bodies that becomes the actual connector so that the hip can move and resize and rescale or do what it wants to without affecting the actual placement of the person to that hip. So I'll experiment with that and we'll play around with it, and if we decide we need to do something like that, we can. Obviously that, we'll figure it out. Okay, so what did everybody think of that? We had a nice little demo today. We've got a few things running. So looks like, okay, so since I did have an error in setting up this guy and everything else, basically let's run it from scratch one time just so that we see just from start to finish. Just from start to finish. That way we have a good practice